So, Christy, how are you today?
It's a good day to be grinding, to be living, to have fun. It's a good day. It feels good in the Midwest today too. It's been cold this week, so
Really?
it's a good day.
Okay, all right. I see the sunshine. I see the room is illuminated. I see all the foliage in the background.
Yeah. I got some of them in the window. They should be up there, but I got a little bell pepper plant growing in the window.
What? For real?
hmm Bell peppers, some cilantro, sage, and what other thing? I can't remember what's over there. But yeah.
Okay, all right. We gonna have to talk about that because I'm trying to get into that because with this economy, I feel like we all need to be growing something because
And I need to be about 3, 4 chickens.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to tell you for real. It's crazy out here. It's
Yes.
crazy.
Of it.
So, Miss Christie, so I'm sure everybody they see the gutted shirt. I got to make sure I get me one. I'm gonna order one online. I love it. Tell the people about who you are, what is gutted, all that.
All right. I'm a black woman from St. Louis, Missouri. Shout out to the Lou.
Hey.
um, I'm a woman who is passionate about wellness, about living your life to the fullest, but also understanding that you're human. So, whatever I can do to help you get well and to remain human, I'm going to do that. So, with Good at Fitness, I help Black entrepreneurs and Black creatives be well, mentally well, physically well, and I just added this transportation aspect. So on the side, my profession is transportation planning and urban planning. My
Mm.
philosophy is if you can't get to where you need to go, you holding up my bag. Period.
Mm.
So I'm incorporating transportation into my wellness aspect and helping to influence city policy around transportation planning, mobility. Like I said, making it easier for people to get around the city without a car, whether they walking, biking, taking a scooter. We got these hover bikes coming, so hover bikes, just get ready. We in the Jetson age.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
that's what I'm about, just wellness and just fulfillment as a human.
Wow. Wow. Okay, that's a nice little combination. So with wellness, and it's not specifically wellness, it sounds like for entrepreneurs and people just like,
Mhm.
trying to do their thing.
Yep. And Black creatives. What I found is that a lot of the oldest children in the family are a lot of the times generational curse breakers. We're trailblazers, but we don't always have a path to follow ourselves. So we end up having to take on a lot of responsibility, and we're not able to be that human because we're taking on the responsibility, helping to raise a family, helping to pay the bills, or just trying to see something new, trying to
Mhm.
break out of the mode of what we're used to seeing. So, we need the most help. We need to know that we're not alone, that we have somebody that's going through the same thing that we're going through, and we have some guides. That's
Wow.
what I wish I had a long time ago, some guides around me. I
Mhm.
probably could have been a little sharper, got some things done a little quicker. I mean, my pace is my pace. I'm grateful for it.
Mhm.
But I understand how some of my siblings could get further just because I came first.
That part. Oh my goodness. See, I wasn't even expecting that because you speaking to my ministry right now.
But it's hard out here for the oldest, I swear.
hmm You absolutely right. Because like you said, you just, especially being black, like you just doing stuff
Mhm.
and seeing what works, what's going to stick. Like, and now that you created the blueprint, everybody else just gets to follow what
Right.
you do. So that is a lot of pressure to do that, and I think you're gonna resonate with a lot of people, putting that out there. A lot of us we just making it even I'm sure like our parents and grandparents, I know like my parents and grandparents moved from the south up here and stuff. They know what they
Right.
was doing, and it was like
Right.
gonna figure it out, and
For
look,
sure.
look at where we at. So that's definitely important. Wow. So a lot of validation. You sure you ain't a therapist? Because you speaking on some therapeutic things right now.
Look, sometimes I feel like I am, but I've gone through my own therapist journey with the therapist. It hasn't been a long one. I wish I'd have got started earlier, but I'm very introspective. I'll sit in the corner and just
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
think, just go down the whole rabbit hole. I'll
Mhm.
do all the research and just really get to the root of what's going on. My mama said I've always been like that though. I used to be 1 year old just sitting there like this. She's like, "What
Mm.
am I thinking about? Girl, I'm trying to figure out how to make this work. What's going on? Something ain't right. That's it."
Oh my
So
goodness. So that's just who you are.
that's who I am.
You a thinker and a creator. You're a
Yes.
creator.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Come through. Come through. So, okay, with gutted and wellness and focusing on, black people, like, what made you come up with that? What made you come up with that concept?
It actually started with a breakup. I always knew when I left St. Louis that I wanted to do something different. I left St. Louis in 2010. I needed to break away from the mode to figure out who I was and how I wanted to live my life. But this breakup that happened in 2014 just kind of shattered everything. I thought I had made it to a good place, but that breakup wasn't just like a romantic breakup. I also lost two of my friends. So I was like, yo, stop the track.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? Who am I? How do I continue to move forward? Because I definitely fell in love with this guy. And then those two friends are like my rollies all through college. So like, what am I supposed to be doing in Dallas now by myself?
Wow.
You know? So I had to really figure out where I went wrong in those relationships, where I even went right in those relationships, and figure out how I can use that to go forward. How can I use that to create my own network in Dallas so that I'm not always feeling alone? How can I eat better? How can I take care of myself? Where I even want to go? I didn't graduate college and I got a degree in religion and anthropology. What am I supposed to do with that? Because I knew I told everybody back home that I was going into ministry. That was a lie. I just say what I needed to say so I can get out. So I knew I wasn't finna go to the pulpit. So what am I about to do? And I was like, all right, well, it's time to clean myself from the inside out. Like I really have to go through this journey. So I gutted myself, everything from the inside, cleaned it up, scraped out what didn't work anymore, and started to pour back into myself things that not all of them work, but some things work. I just had to go through the process of figuring out what works for me and filling myself up with what my soul, my spirit needs to be who God created me to be.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God. So gutted is like really like just detoxing yourself and like pouring back into yourself, like the things you really want and you really need.
Yes. It's like I'm gonna use this analogy, but preface it. I have never fished and gutted my own fish. I've fished before, but I've never gutted my own fish. So it's like when you do gut a fish though, you catch your fish, you cut it, and you clean out all the insides. Anything that you don't want, whatever you want to stay, you leave it in there. And then you have the chance to fill it up with whatever you want to fill it up with. You put some shrimp in there, mud, put some cream cheese, some all your seasonings, and you just make that fish bomb, however you need it to be. Even if you just putting it on the wall as a plaque, like you still got to fill it up with whatever you wanted to fill it up with so that it could be presented in the way that you needed it to be presented or fulfill the purpose you needed to fulfill. That's what gutted is doing. Removing what is no longer necessary, what is no longer required or functional for the purpose that is working towards, and filling it up with what it needs.
Mm. Mm.
Can I get an amen?
I was about to say that's a whole sermon right there now. Come on now. You using that degree. Come on now.
Uh-huh.
So did you say analogy? I'm like, I'm ready. I love it. I love it. Wow. So removing what no longer serves a purpose and filling yourself up with what you need. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Okay. I really need my gutted shirt now. Like, I want people to ask, like, what that mean? I'm like, I'm filling myself up. I'm getting rid of what don't work no more. Like, I love it.
And when I wear it every day, it's like it's a reminder that I'm a work in progress. I'm grinding right now. I'm not perfect, but look, I'm making it happen. I'm a work in progress. So if you see me out here, you know I'm gutted, or I'm in the process of getting gutted.
Mm. And I've seen you use that phrase, and that it. I don't know what I thought about. I don't know, in my mind, I'm like, okay, you getting like swole up, you getting like fit. That's where my mind was going with it. But now, like, woo, I'm getting gutted. Okay, I'm gonna be using that. So we about to bring that to Jersey. We about to start saying that like I'm getting gutted. Okay,
Yeah.
like so I'm gonna do not disturb.
Yeah. For real. Talk to me better than that. Because I'm getting gutted.
I'm getting gutted. I love it. I love it. Okay. And I wanted to say something because you sent me this wonderful box. Okay. I have it right here. And I'm gonna just tell you now, first of all, the first thing I did, I ate them chips. I ain't gonna lie. Them chips is banging. All right, let me pull my box out. Let me make sure I can show it. Christy has this wonderful gutted box. Oh my, first of all, I'm a details person. So when I seen that the box had the print on it, on the inside with the QRs, and I said, I know that's right. I know that's right, Black woman. Go ahead. Go ahead with the branding. I'm like, I need to get myself together. Like, what? It's so dope. Like, oh my, the handwritten letter. You put like the color. I said, this my cousin. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. The coloring book, the affirmation book. Oh my God. I love it. I started coloring it. Then my nephew, he found it because I had it in like my little space where I be relaxing. And I'm looking, I'm like, what you coloring, girl? He was coloring the one with the girl smoking. Hell no nobody. He was just like, are the colors right? I said, it's good. It's good. But I love that, like you know, want the creativity, like, and the message that you have in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like pushing people to, like you said, get gutted and like encouraging people. Like, this is so dope. Like,
thank you.
This is super dope. Like, what made you come up with like the book? Like, where did the box come from? Like, where did all of these like great ideas come from?
So the idea of coloring as therapy actually started with my mom. So shout out to mommy. Back in the day, we had a lot of rough patches and rough periods. So what she would have us do was just get in the bed and we would talk. And a lot of times we sat and colored while we were talking. So it helped us, just let go of some stress. It helped diffuse a lot of the anger. I was very angry as a child. So it helped me diffuse a lot of anger and just have a place to put it. And really engage with what was going on and the conversations and going on within myself. So during the pandemic, I was living in DC at the time, and I thought I was an introvert. I like to be by myself until I was really forced to be by myself. And the DC entrepreneur culture is just very different out there. But just the business culture in general, it can feel very lonely, but everything moves so fast that you can't help but grow. But if feeling lonely in that social network, I was like, look, I can't really afford therapy right now, but I got some thoughts that I need to really tease out. So let me just sit in color and just have these therapy talks with myself to figure out what's going on. Like, girl, what are you really feeling? It's okay to be your feelings right now, but what are you feeling and why? And does that feeling or thought that's triggering those feelings even matter? And so, like I said, I would be coloring during some of the time. So I was like, man, you know what? I needed to just make this a book. So I got with my homeboy, another St. Louis native. We grew up together, and he's Black and Asian, and he's great at anime. And I'm like, I'm hearing a lot how Black people love anime, for one. So let's just turn this into an Black anime book and, create therapy without making people feel like they're going to therapy. Because you know how Black people are. Black people still hesitant to go to therapy, but we'll get on that on another day. We'll get on that on another day. So how can I sneak therapy into this and help people really unpack some thoughts that they probably never even thought of or be running from? That's where the idea of the book came in. And we're making it a box. This came out of DC too. Like, everything was just moving so fast. I felt like I never had a moment to really grow and heal myself and like take a deep breath for myself, because you are under that pressure to thrive and to execute. When you in DC, you better execute or you really hurting yourself in the social circles and the business circles. And then moving out there, I'm coming from the South. I'm coming from DF Dub, and I've been living there 8 years. So I'm a country girl in a big city. I'm used to slow living. I'm used to Southern hospitality. So now I gotta be in my chest when I'm up here. Like, let me sit back because I'm a work in progress. I can't be out here fighting. I can't be out here like talking from my chest, or I'm gonna lose this contract.
That's right.
So I need a moment. I need a moment. And talking to my employer at the time, like, that just wasn't acceptable. So I just really felt alone and isolated and just not enough. So I needed a moment. That's why I created the box. And I put everything in there to help people create that moment for themselves so that they wouldn't have to go, yeah, you got the coloring book, but now you got to go get color pencils. Or now you need a snack. And now you ain't got no pencil sharpener. So you really can't take advantage of the full book. Or, incense. I thrive. I realize I thrive well and can get productive with smells. So I'm like, how can I incorporate every sense in here to make sure that you're stimulated and comfortable and safe in your moment to be able to unpack everything you're feeling right now? So that's what came out of it. I created an actual moment for you to deal with your shit.
You did, and not to mention the playlist too. Now that's what those codes are. So you gonna hear the vibes too. Like you covered everything.
You hear me? Because sometimes I don't want to just hear relaxing music. Sometimes I need to rage. I need my Maggie. I need my ASAP Bird. I need to rage. So I try to create a playlist for every mood. Like, celebrate your successes. Be live in who you are. Or maybe you just sad today. You just need to hear mellow music. Maybe you don't want to hear no lyrics. I got a playlist for that too. So.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. So one of the common themes that I'm seeing with, talking to people about their business, especially those of us in the wellness space, 9 times out of 10, it starts from something that we were working through, for ourselves. Like, we were our first customers and our first client, right? So this is something that really means something to us. So, thank you for sharing something like so intimate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have just kept that to yourself. Like, I did my work. Let me just keep it moving and just like, do what I'm doing, like whenever. But you decided to like share this with other people because, like you said, it's not that easy to just say, oh, I need therapy, or even understand that you may need therapy. So this is excellent for that person that, may not want to do it, or don't know how, or don't have the money, because that's a whole nother issue. Or in addition, and even just it being, I'm all about like cultural reflection, like the fact that I could open a coloring book the way it's worded. I'm like, yo, this how I talk. Like,
right.
Like, it just makes you like just feel so comfortable. The visuals, like, it's just so dope. So thank you for sharing that with the world. Like, for real.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See, you got your ministry and your book and your box. See, you using that degree now. You ministering to us.
Okay, I'll take that. Count that win, because I was showing like, look, I don't know.
No, you are doing it. I like I said, I was super impressed. Not that I was expecting anything less, but I was like, oh wow, like this is dope. This is dope.
I will say though, I have upgraded my packaging and everything too. I changed the cover of the book to look more like a notebook, and just improved the package. Included a a pencil bag, a branded pencil bag in there too. So yeah.
Okay, so after this, I need to go on the website. I need to get my shirts, and I need to order me another box.
Okay.
Get the new stuff. Okay. All right. Look at you, see, evolving. Like what you said, getting good.
Evolving. It's levels.
There you go. So, still talking about, our people and wellness and stuff like that. My focus with this, I'm doing this through my project, the Brown Self-Care Collective. What do you think, like, self-care, like, what effect does it have, or should it have, or should people prioritize that in our community?
I do think people should prioritize self-care in the Black community. But here's the thing. I feel like there's a missing component of it. So in our community, we barely can do self-maintenance, or when we do self-maintenance, it's at the bare minimum. And that makes it hard for us to self-care, because in my opinion, self-care includes an element of self-love that a lot of us haven't tapped into yet, you know? So let's take the analogy of a car. When you get a car, there's people that's going to do the bare minimum to keep it going. There's people that's going to keep up with the maintenance, but they're not really attached to the car. They just know that they need this car, so they're going to do whatever they need to do to keep it going. Then there's the people that's very routine, in fact, ahead of the maintenance, and they're cleaning and waxing their car, like that uncle that got that Oldsmobile. You know, he out there early at 8 a.m. on a Saturday.
That's right. That's right.
That's that self-care, you know, because that's some deep love in that car. Like, they're very proud of what that car is, what they put into it, all the new features and all that. To me, that's the spectrum of self-maintenance and self-care. So I think black people, our community, we need to realize that you need to do more than a bare minimum to maintain. And that's going to take a generational shift, to be honest, because, you know, that mindset started a long time ago when our ancestors were held captive and made to think that they weren't enough, that they could only do the bare minimum to survive, you know. So we have to like actively retrain our mind for that. Like, yes, you need to eat, but you could do better in how you choose to eat. You know? You can take out some of the stuff that's creating high blood pressure, that's giving you diabetes or whatever, you know, stress eating. We can change up our patterns to making sure that we're not just living, we're thriving and able to last longer, you know. That's and then, but to get there, you have to really unpack and do some introspection to really figure out who you are and learn to love yourself and learn you are severely, I won't say severely, but you are imperfect. We're all imperfect, and we all have opportunities to grow and upgrade. So like with a car, we could take this Kia situation. Like, Kias are cool. They're a regular car. You already know what kind of maintenance they need, but you know that somebody can come steal them too with this little USB port. So what you gonna do? Love on it, get you a bar or change out the ignition or something. Like, if you love that car, you really want to maintain it, you're gonna have to understand the features of this car and upgrade it so that these little Kia boys don't catch you in the streets. So that's how I look at self-care. Like, we really need to take the time to really understand who we are, so that we can take that self-maintenance up a notch, so that we can last longer. But then we can exude that love of ourselves, you know, exude how proud we are to be who we are. And I feel like once we can do that, it'll be easier to bridge the gap across the community and to collaborate and to share love, and there not be so much hatred, because you understand that I'm a Kia, but you a Veloster, and we doing the same thing on the same road, but you meeting different needs, and we can meet each other's needs, you know. Or I'm a EV car, I'm an electric vehicle, and maybe I'll take electricity while you take gas, but either way, we getting our people to where we need to go, you know. I sound like a transportation planner, huh?
I promise you, I was gonna say that. I see how you tied that up in there. I know that's right.
But that's how I look at it. Like, we all serve different purposes. We all look different. There's no reason to be stuck up on that, you know. Just because you look different, you built different, don't mean you're better or worse than nobody else. But what you decide to do with it, how you decide to take care of it,
that's right.
You know, you got to live with that.
Wow. So what you're saying is like that self-care, we got to work on the prequel to that. Like, how do I feel about me? How do I see me in this world? Like, am I proud of me? Like, am I treating myself well? Like, I don't, like you said, we don't think about that because we've been surviving for so long. It's just been day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute, and not taking that time. Like, yo, do I really want to do this thing that I'm doing? Like, you know,
for real.
So you're absolutely right. Taking that time out and really getting to know yourself. And like you said, the pandemic, I think that was, you know, kind of like a kickstart into that. Like, we were forced to sit the F down, to sit down and really be like, yo, like what's working, what's not working. You know, it was hurtful. It was also, you know, some parts of it was beautiful. Like we really need to get to know us. So thank you for pointing that out. Wow. Okay. All right. So what would you say, like I know, you know, your focus is on, you know, Black people, business owners, people, you know, trying to do what they need to do. As a business owner yourself, and what they call a multipreneur, I think that's the term, a multipreneur. What would you say is, you know, I guess like the key to you maintaining your self-care, like, and getting to the bag and, you know, running your business and everything?
The thing that's been resonating in my life over the past 2 years is two questions. Where are you going? And what are you rushing for? Yeah. So with being a multipreneur, I realized I'm rushing to get to this ideal state. A lot of people call it nirvana. Some people call it bliss. Some people call it whatever they want to call it. You know, I'm rushing to get to this place where I just finally feel comfortable. I feel safe. I feel stable. But at the same time, I don't even know what that really look like, you know? And so, and then you got Instagram, social media, making you feel like, I ain't gonna speak for everybody else, making me feel like maybe I'm behind or I didn't use my resources the way that I need to. So I need to catch up because I'm out here 30 plus and unstable, you know? So I have to really slow myself down and realize, yes, it's good to be punctual. It's good to be productive and things and moving forward. But that doesn't mean I have to do it at such a quick pace and constantly. Sometimes in the journey, you have to take a rest break to catch your bearings, understand where you are, and pivot if you need to. Like, it's pointless to keep going down the same road of nowhere, doing what you think is going to help. But if that same road still is going to nowhere, the work is for no reason. No reason. So figure out where your work is effective or where it's actually mattering, or if that's even the work you should be doing, you know? So when I'm self-caring and taking my time, I'm reminding myself, like, you've came a long way for one. So let's count and celebrate that blessing. You keep putting a lot of pressure on yourself and beating yourself up over day-to-day minute tasks and things, but you've come a long way, and great things take time. So remember that. And then three, just keep in mind keep in mind where you're going. So every day I'm like just revisiting, where am I going? Where am I wanting to go? Is that feasible? Is that realistic? What am I doing? You know, and wherever I decide I want to go, is that my idea? Because a lot of times we have it in our heads what people want for us. And some of that is great. You know, some of that's good. You know, your family want the best for you, your cousins, your spouse, your whoever, they want the best. But is that really what you want? And is that what your soul is calling for? You know, I'm having to really sit. When I self-care, I sit in those spaces and ruminate over those questions. And it helps me to figure out, okay, this is what I need to eat. Based on where I'm trying to go and what's going to take to get to there, this is what I need to eat. This is how much I need to sleep. This is what time I need to go to bed. And no, I'm not going out and I'm not drinking. Because I ain't got time for no headache. I ain't got time for no late start. Like, this is the type of people I need to have in my life. This is who can't come around me when I'm X, Y, and Z. You know, that's knowing where I'm going and what timetable I'm on helps me to set those boundaries so that I can get to that destination.
You just preaching today. You just preaching today. Wow. So yeah, so for you it's like that clarity, like knowing like why am I doing this? Do I want to do this? And what am I doing to get there? Is this taking me to where I want to go? Like it sounds like that constant checking in with yourself and seeing if you on the right path. Like,
yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I asked myself plenty times, especially during the pandemic, do I want to do GUTTED or what? Because it's costing me too much money to make this happen. And you know, you say I sound like a therapist. That'd be cool until a lot of people want to come talk to you. And I'm like, bro, I have to figure out what to do with all that energy. Because then that energy starts to seep into your life, and then you feel heavy. You know, as a therapist, you feel heavy, and you don't know where to even put the energy that ain't even yours. You know, so how do I unload and protect myself but still be a resource? You know, because I don't want to be closed off to people. I don't want to be rude, but it's like I'm still an introvert. Yeah, hold on. Like, let me get my energy together so that I can be effective, so I can be in a mind space to talk to you.
That's right. That's right. Oh my God. Look, you talking to a fellow introvert here. And that energy drain be for real, you know, and you wanna, in your heart, you wanna help, and you know that you can probably direct people. But yeah, them boundaries are really important, like knowing what your capacity is. You know, we all have one. Like I always say, refer people.
Yes.
Get a website. Here you go. Like, I send you this Instagram. Good luck. God bless. You know, you don't have to take it all, because you doing a lot. You're doing a lot. So yep. You know, so you're right. Them boundaries, like them time boundaries and them energetic boundaries, like super important.
Man. God. Even for my own family, I would say, like, I would consider myself a trailblazer and managing your mental health and pushing for growth, personally, professionally, all of that. So every day I'm like battling old behaviors and thoughts from the 70s, from the 80s, you know, and you know what was going on during that time. Like there was a lot of high anxiety because a lot of people's parents were on crack and stuff, and abandoning their families. There was a lot of gang violence. Like there was a lot of stuff going on, you know, a lot of single parent households, a lot of domestic violence, like a lot of things happening. And so as 90s babies, like we get a lot of residual of that, especially if our parents were young. So, you know, it could get heavy being that oldest one, trying to elevate, trying to grow, trying to break out of mindsets that have held your family captive for so long, you know, for decades. That stuff be exhausting. And then I gotta go to work and do what?
Good night. Good night.
I'm tired. My phone do not disturb at 8 p.m.
Glad I ain't the only one. I'm glad I and don't hit that notification twice, because I'm not answering.
I'm not. So that's how I have to self-care my business, because if I don't take care of me first, that business is just not going to get the best of me, and it's not going to thrive in the way that God intended it to thrive and to help people. If I'm not good and God gave me the vision, it ain't going to happen.
So y'all need to hear that, rewind that part. Like you got to take care of you first. Like, you know, people say, I don't want to be selfish. It's literally nothing wrong with being selfish. You have a balance, and there's nothing right with always being selfless neither. That's not cool either.
Exactly. My mama said something really good yesterday. She said, we were talking about relationships, and she was saying how it's important for you to be good for you, because when you're good to you, you're already going to benefit, but people are going to benefit from you being good. So other people, that's whoever you're dating or your spouse or whatever, needs to be good for them, but you're already going to be benefiting from them as their spouse because they're good to them.
That's right.
It's the same way, like in your business. Like I have to be good to myself so that I can be good to the business, and when I'm good to the business will be good back to me.
That part. Oh my goodness. So we got to prioritize that self-care, like, you know, all of the business plans and meetings and products and all that. That's cool, but like you said, this and this got to be good first before any of that can happen, because being a business owner is a lot.
It's a lot.
You got to be right. Okay, all right. So I got one last question. Where do you feel like the future of Black self-care, Black wellness is going?
That's a hard question. Because right now the trend is self-care, and it's very pretty, it's very soft, it's very loving, which definitely has its place. But and I like how it creates a guide for people to start figuring out how to love themselves. But I'm not sure that there's really a connection to dealing with the inner stuff that's that's bringing you down. It makes the self-care ineffective, you know. So I'm hoping and looking around to see how all of these self-care practices really lead people back to unpacking what's inside. Like what Erica Badu said, bag lady, you from Miss Your Buzz. You
Okay.
look good. You look good, you smell good, but you from Miss Your Buzz. So you're gonna have to learn how to pack light. So yes, here's therapists, yes, here's all the resources, but we already know there's so many reasons why that's tough, from people not being mentally ready to admit that, to the financial barriers, to access barriers. So like what else is a self-care community going to offer that helps people unpack? You know? So my hope for the future is that there's more products that helps people unpack, that does more than like shift addictions, that does more than help cover addictions or help cover pain. I want people to really start to unpack stuff, you know.
So what I'm hearing you say is like, the self-care is cool, like you said, that's like the rainbows and lollipops of it, but we need to get deeper, beneath the surface and say like, okay, like what has led me to like have to like, although self-care should be a daily thing, but like why am I feeling down? Like what's really going on? And that's what you want to see us like go in the direction of, is like really starting to tackle the issues and not always making it cute and pretty.
Right. And I do think some of these podcasts are helping with that, especially the celebrity podcasts and stuff. They're really highlighting we are all human going through things, and the higher you get, the harder the pay can be sometimes. So I like that there's a lot more light shedded on human experiences and human challenges. But again, it seems like the only way out was to rap or to make music. Or to submit yourself to violence or violent situations, or fill in the blank with XYZ addiction or just bad behavior. And not bad behavior because we just think it's bad, but like toxic behavior that brings you down, So like the podcast that just keeps coming to my head is the Creatures, I think that's her name, Creatures podcast or something. One of the City Girls. Yeah, I don't really watch it, but I've seen a clip, and I love that she has it. I love that she talks, and we get to see more of who she is. But I still feel like there's a disconnect in like, okay, yeah, I felt like that, and X, Y, and Z happened, but like everybody can't get access to a record label. Everybody, everybody ain't got money, or everybody can't really flip these drugs on the street because really it ain't no longevity to that, So what are the options for real? That's low cost, that's effective, that feels human, and hockey, like that's before technology.
right. That's
before technology. Cause like I went to this sermon yesterday. It was about marriage, but he was talking about how he was training for this marathon with this Marine guy. And he was like, "Hey man, my leg is hurting. Does your leg ever hurt?" And the Marine guy was like, "Yeah." He said, "So what do you do about it?" He said, "I open a can of man." And sometimes that's the answer. Like, you just got to get thicker skin. But like the self-care stuff is just making it seem like, oh, just be soft and you're not deserving of any pain. No, pain is part of the process. And we're not really taught how to unpack and deal with that pain, and work through the pain. So open a can of man. And where do you even get a can of man?
Right.
Like, walk me through that so that I can learn how to move through this marathon with this hurt knee, because the other one might start hurting too, and I need to be prepared.
Right. So what I'm hearing you say is like, how do we, as everyday, just regular people, like learn how to manage, like, because hurt and pain, that's a part of the life experience. We can't We can't get around that. Like, that's a part of just being here, right? That's a part of relationships. That's just a part of life. Stuff happens. So, you know, I'm going to, as you know, a therapist, I'm taking that to heart, and you know, I'm going to make sure that at least and you know, I'll communicate that to some of my counterparts as well, like that we are, you know, putting things out there for people to say, okay, this is how I can, you know, deal, you know, with this if this comes up. I know there are a few people out there that I follow per se. I know a lot of people may not know about them. But there's one therapist, her name is, I believe, Nidra Tawab, Black woman from North Carolina. Love her. And she I think it was her first book. It was called Set Boundaries, Find Peace. And she talks about how do you deal with when your family trying to tell you, you know, you got to do this, like, you don't know how to say, you know, she brings up all these different everyday scenarios, and she's constantly, you know, posting as well. I think she has a book. It might be out already or it's getting ready to come out. About, I think it's called Drama Free. And same thing, she's given, you know, steps on like, how do you deal with this? Like you said, we talk about the self-care, we talk about how do you relax and get your mind open. Okay, now your mind is open. Let's put some, you know, some steps in. Let's execute something so that we are not feeling that stressed anymore. So I totally agree with you, and I'll definitely make sure that at least I'm doing my part to, you know, give people that information. So thank you for that.
No problem. That was one of the things I loved getting from my therapist. He recognized that I am a creative, so he encouraged me to take more moments for myself and just allow that creative expression to take place. So I paint a lot, and it's interesting to see like what I end up painting. But you know, little tools or hacks like that make all the difference. Make all the difference in stress reduction. And it may not help me understand how to troubleshoot a certain problem, but at least I learned how to manage my anger. Because I'm going to get angry again.
right, that part. And anger, you know, like I tell people all the time, we supposed to have our emotions, all of them. They all serve a purpose. They're like smoke alarms. Right. The issue comes when like we leaning on like just one emotion, right? Even being happy. Nobody is happy all the time. You know, they talk about like toxic positivity. You can't be like, that's not real.
It's not.
Allow yourself to be like, yo, F these ends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you still a good person and you can feel like that. Like,
right. For real.
So you're absolutely right. Give yourself that space to just be. Just be. And thank you for being open to even sharing that, you know, you go to therapies. I think people, they need to see like, it's regular people out here still cool as I don't know what, going to therapy. Like, so thank you.
I look at therapy like going to get your oil changed. Like, you got to go get your oil changed. And if you act like you're too good to get an oil change, what you got a car for?
Good night. And what happens to that car? You don't get that oil change.
Right. You're going to break down.
So Christie, I really appreciate you. I know we had the whole calendar time, different situation the other day. So thank you for being flexible. I really appreciate it. I really do. I know you're busy, so you know I'm truly thankful. Tell, you know, the people again, you know, a little bit about Gutted Fitness, what you offer, where you located, you know, your socials, all that jazz.
So Gutted Fitness is specifically for the Black entrepreneur and Black creative looking for a moment to elevate and unpack. So that's for you, okay? The services that I offer, I'm still working on it, building it out, but in 2023 and beyond, you can expect some fitness classes, some hikes, some just spaces to unpack, and not just unpack with yourself, but unpacking with a community and finding gems and life hacks to help you elevate and let go of some things that's holding you back. I also have products that you can use for yourself and you know, just your self-therapy, your self-love, your self-maintenance. I have the Moment Box. I have another coloring book coming out actually, which will be more kid-friendly as well. It's still going to be a journal. It's still going to have coloring pages, but it's also going to have what do you call them? Like work activities that help, like mazes and things that help you learn focus to really troubleshoot your own problems, find solutions to your own problems. So I'm excited about that. It's still going to be anime themes. If you love anime, we in the deal.
All right.
I have a podcast as well, YouTube channel, where I'm just talking about everyday life things, challenges we go through, how to manage feelings, how to set boundaries, how to even figure out how many F's you want to give today. Like, the conversation is wide across just the human experience. So if you want something like that, just go to the YouTube channel. You can find that, workout videos, stretches, all of that. And yeah, on social media, it's just GUTTED Fitness on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and TikTok. But you know what? I heard the government trying to shut down TikTok. So that's kind of a sigh of relief for me. But if you're on TikTok, you can find me there too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with TikTok. They've been saying that since like Trump was in office. I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation. Because I feel like too many people coming together on TikTok sharing too much information. I think they looking to dismantle that for that reason. But anyway.
I will say, if you subscribe to my website, I have a weekly email that goes out, and I call it the Guide to GUTTED. So it helps you through that process of unpacking, sorting through your thoughts, and making a plan to execute and elevate wherever you're trying to go. So it includes real life discussions about real life challenges and situations. It includes meal prep ideas, activities, workouts, stretches, books that I'm reading, and analysis of those books. And then just, photos of other GUTTED gang members just getting gutted.
Nice. Okay, you got a whole setup. I'm like, wait a minute now. I don't think I know about the weekly email. I need to sign up for that. Okay, all right. So thank you, Christie, so much for just being you. Just being you and blessing, the world with your creativity and using your journey, to help other people, because you ain't have to do that, So thank you for that. Thank you for being here. And everybody go flood the website, go flood the YouTube. I was shocked you was on Facebook. I was shocked. I said, oh, I thought Facebook was for my generation and up. I don't know. So I said, okay, I know that's right. You hitting all angles.
I'll be shocked that I'm on Facebook too, to be honest. Instagram automatically posts to Facebook, so I'll take
that part.
I'll take it.
That part, I can't. Well, Christie, thank you for being here, and just blessings to you and everything that you're doing, and sure your future is going to continue to look bright. So thank you from me and the Brown Self-Care Collective.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the platform too, and for your work as a therapist. Oh my gosh, you're so needed. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace out.